Hey guys, it's BlitzSpanks here. Ever since I started making Genshin content, I've been receiving some very heartwarming messages like, thanks for letting me know about this amazing game. Can't wait for your next video. And do you have any tips for beginners? So I've decided to make another tip/guide video for those in need, but this time on the top 5 biggest mistakes you can avoid while playing Genshin Impact. Since I myself have been playing for a really long while, some might say, too long. But nevertheless, I want to help newcomers and make it easier for them to settle into the world of Teyvat. So let's get started. As much as Genshin is very fun and addicting, it is important to remember that Genshin is still a gacha game, meaning that you can only progress a certain amount until having to wait for your energy, or as in this case, your resin, to fill up again. A lot of people who got into Genshin recently probably never played or even heard of this sort of game style before, and play games like World of Warcraft or Final Fantasy XIV thinking it would be similar, which obviously for those who do know is absolutely not. Resin in this game is sort of seen as a currency. Every time you want to loot a boss, farm gold, XP, or artifacts, you will use resin. And there's only so much you can farm in one day, so make sure that you use it wisely for things that you actually want or need. If you're out of resin and have nothing else to do, it's time to hit that log off button and come back again tomorrow. I know it sounds very painful and sometimes you want to keep playing, but it's the sort of playstyle that these gacha games have implemented to prevent players from getting burnt out and to get you wanting to come back for more every day. I mean, you could refill your resin using the free primogems you've gained from daily commissions and questing, but using this basically means increasing your playtime by only a couple of minutes and decreasing your chances to get this. And trust me, you do not want to miss out on this. Now, following up with what I said about resin, remember that it is a currency. So after you've used up all your resin and farmed all the necessary materials and mora needed for leveling up one of your characters, please, and I mean please, for the love of God, make sure you level up a character you actually want to play. Now, I know this sounds like a pretty big no-brainer, but the amount of times I have leveled up characters that I ended up regretting right after has happened time and time again. Like, just look at the amount of level 90 characters I have. Just look. And you want to know how many of them I actually still play? This many! It takes approximately 100 domain runs, 16 boss drops, and 5.5 million mora to fully level up a character. And if you end up changing your mind and not liking that character anymore, well, sir, you've just wasted around 5,000 resin. Yep. The idea of going back in time has always been a sort of fascinating dream of mine. And you may ask why. Is it possibly because I want to go back to see a loved one who unfortunately passed away? Or maybe go back to enjoy the most exciting part of my life all over again? Or is it to try and prevent a worldwide disaster from ever happening? No. It's none of those things. It's so I can stop myself from ever fully constellating my fucking Bennett! And you may be thinking to yourself, wait, why is he so mad about fully constellated Bennett? I thought constellations were supposed to be good. Well, yeah, they are! But for some stupid, idiotic, butt-fuck reason, C6 Bennett is trash! Oh, well, what does it do, you may ask? Good question. It increases your damage by 15%. 15! Oh, well, that's just fucking spectacular, isn't it? No, it isn't! Because if your character uses a sword, claymore, or polearm, they only do pyro damage! That's fucking right, you name it. Pyro Ayaka, Pyro Kaching, Pyro everybody, what the fuck? Don't do this. Just never even think about doing this. It will be your biggest regret in your life. Probably the most asked question I get every single day is, should I roll for this character? Should I roll for that character? And it's honestly very frustrating because it's probably the single most dumbest question you could ever ask. Like, how the fuck should I know? Why does my opinion have an effect on who you should roll and shouldn't be rolling for? But if you really want my opinion, I would say that if you are having second thoughts on rolling for a certain character or need others to encourage you to roll for them, chances are you most likely don't actually want that character. I mean, just think about it. If you really did want them, you would have already rolled for them without even questioning yourself about it. It's a pretty simple concept I see a lot of people in this community struggle to understand. It's all up to you. Do you want them or not? And also, please stop asking the stupid fucking question. Now, this part may or may not come forward as a little bit ironic since I've spent over 11 grand on this game, but Just listen, okay, hear me out. A lot of gacha games out there like Epic 7, Honkai Impact, Azure Lane are pretty competitive games that either have PvP or have implemented some kind of PvP system in their games. They also have a lot of endgame content, which can be a bit challenging, sometimes even impossible unless you spend money on the game. But with Genshin, I think we can all agree the only remotely challenging part of this game is the Abyss, which, let's be honest, really is not that hard once you reach endgame. As long as you know what you're doing, you can easily 36-star the Abyss with level 80 characters and good team building. On my Smurf account, where I didn't spend a single dime, I can fully clear the Abyss with ease with just a C0 Eula on my first team and a C0 Rosaria on my second. Sure, I'll admit it, there are some weeks where I do struggle a little bit more, but with a little determination and luck with my crits, I can squeeze by with 36 stars just fine. Constellations may look nice to have for your favorite character, but I'm telling you right now, they are not needed at all. Sure, a C6 Eula might be nice to have, and you get a little bit of a hard-on by seeing the big numbers on your screen, but that damage won't ever top the amount of damage you yourself dealt to your own bank account. Now, that being said, I'm mainly saying all of this because Genshin has been severely lacking in endgame content lately, but who knows? Maybe in the near future, we'll actually get some challenging events like competitive Abyss or raid bosses that will make our C6 characters feel more worth it. But as of right now, with these new events coming out, I think it's safe to say that C6 in characters is totally just not worth it at all right now. I don't think I'll be able to pop off using my C6 Ayaka when it comes to collecting coins or dating Beto. I mean, don't get me wrong, if you really do like the character and can afford spending $2 grand like it's spare change, go for it. Just as long as you know that you're doing it just to make yourself feel less lonely at night and to get more attached to a fictional character. You fucking loser. And I know that some of you guys might be asking to yourself, well then why did Blitz spend over $2 grand on Ayaka? Well, it's because, shut the fuck up, okay? She's cute and she deserves it.